it's been a while. I know I said I'll make a video about medication soon. Apparently by soon I meant half a year, if not longer. But here it finally is a meds review. Today I'll be talking about all of the SSRIs that I've taken. There's 3 of them. SSRIs are so-called selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. They work by increasing the level of serotonin in the brain. What the fuck is serotonin? Serotonin is basically, it's a neurotransmitter, and it's the one that makes you feel happy. And people with depression or anxiety or panic disorders do not produce enough serotonin. The first SSRI that I took was fluoxetine. Fluoxetine is used for depression, anxiety, OCD, and eating disorders. I started on fluoxetine when I was 15. I took it for depression back then. Side effects, I didn't experience too many side effects of fluoxetine. For one, at the start of taking it, I was incredibly tired. I know there was one time where I hadn't taken it for a while and then I started taking it again. This is a mistake I made a lot back when I was on fluoxetine. I would take it and then I'd be like, hey, I'm fine, I don't need this anymore. And then I stopped taking it without consulting with my doctor first. And then I fell into a deep hole. And then I started taking it again and over and over and over. So the first few days, one time I was at my ex-boyfriend's house. I started taking fluoxetine on a regular basis again. And I slept through 3 whole days. Like, I would occasionally get up to go to the bathroom or have a slice of bread so I wouldn't starve. But other than that, I slept through 3 whole days. I also experienced some dizziness in the first 2 weeks. And I lost weight, about 10 pounds. Which at the time wasn't all that great because I was already underweight. Another side effect I experienced on fluoxetine, yawning. No matter if I was tired or not, I would yawn. Would I recommend Prozac? Yes, actually. Prozac was great for the time that it actually helped me. You see, Prozac, as a teenager, I was unable to swallow pills, so they prescribed it to me in liquid form. Eventually they stopped producing it in liquid form, so I was stuck with pills, which I couldn't swallow. You know, I crushed them up. And apparently that made them lose their active ingredient or something. I don't know. At the end of the day, Prozac didn't help me at all in pill form. I then took it again in 2018 after coming off venlafaxine, which is another medication that I'll talk about in another video because it's not an SSRI. And of course they gave me pills again, but at this point luckily I was able to swallow them. But for some reason, I don't know why, but fluoxetine pills just don't help me. Maybe I wasn't on the right dosage, I don't know. I just know it didn't work anymore. So I switched to sertraline, better known as Zoloft. Zoloft is used for depression, anxiety, and panic. I take it for depression, anxiety, and panic. Yeah. Now, with Zoloft, I also experienced very little side effects, and most of them tapered off after a week or 2. Much like fluoxetine on sertraline, I'm also yawning all the goddamn time. Other than that, it was the typical sleepiness, drowsiness, blah blah blah. I also felt kind of dizzy the first 2 weeks-ish, but after that, it stopped. I'm still on sertraline right now. Would I recommend sertraline? Oh yes, it's great. Like, I went from not being able to leave the house to leading a normal-ish life. As a matter of fact, anyone of you who's seen my emetophobia video knows that I suffer from severe emetophobia, which is the fear of vomiting. And lo and behold, Recently, my fiance threw up, and what did I do? I didn't panic, I didn't run out of the room, I didn't cry, I didn't refuse to kiss her afterwards. As a matter of fact, I held her hair out of her face, I stroked her back, and I rinsed out the bucket afterward. That is a huge step for me. You have no idea how huge that is. Now with Zoloft, I've made heaps of improvement when it comes to my depression as well as my anxiety and panic disorder. The last and certainly least antidepressant we're going to talk about is escitalopram, better known as Lexapro. Lexapro is used for depression, anxiety, and OCD. I started on Lexapro, I want to say 2016, maybe 2017, I'm not entirely sure. And at first I was at a pretty low dosage, so I didn't feel many of the side effects. But eventually they upped my dosage, and I was emotionally completely numb. I didn't feel anything. Great, I wasn't anxious anymore, but, you know, that being replaced by nothing wasn't all that great. I also experienced crippling nausea. I never once threw up, but the nausea was bad. I was also so dizzy that sometimes I couldn't get up from my bed. That's how dizzy I was. Everything was spinning. I was also very lethargic, like I didn't really want to do anything, which is probably due to the fact that I didn't feel anything, so I didn't feel like doing anything, and also I was very, very, very tired. So would I recommend Lexapro? No. Funny thing, I actually know 2 other people who are either taking Lexapro or have taken Lexapro, and both of them say, yeah, it made them emotionally completely numb. There was just nothing. You should find an antidepressant that really suits you. And right now that antidepressant for me is Zoloft. I'm very happy with Zoloft, even though I'm on a pretty high dosage. The maximum dosage is 200 milligrams and I am on 150. That's it for this video. In the next, I'll be talking about other antidepressants that I've taken that aren't SSRIs. And in the video after that, I will probably talk about the medications I've taken for my bipolar disorder. I'll see you in the next one.